Dr. Amanda Hayes drummed her fingers against the cold metal of her workstation, staring at the quantum detection array's holographic display. The signal hadn't changed in the past 6 hours. If anything, it had become clearer, more defined, and infinitely more terrifying. "Run it again," she ordered, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. The massive underground facility hummed with energy as the quantum computers processed the data for the 100th time. Behind her, Dr. Marcus Thompson cleared his throat. "Amanda, we've confirmed it 12 different ways. The entity is real, and it's heading straight for our galaxy." The detection chamber stretched around them, a cathedral of science built half a mile beneath the Rocky Mountains. Panels of quantum processors lined the walls, their crystalline matrices gleaming with subdued light. This facility, known officially as Deep Space Detection Hub Alpha, represented humanity's most advanced early warning system. "Calculate time to contact," Amanda commanded, pulling up a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. The hologram sparkled with millions of stars, and among them, a massive void moved with purpose. At current velocity, Marcus tapped several commands into his tablet. Approximately 18 months until it reaches the outer rim of the Milky Way. Amanda closed her eyes, letting out a slow breath. They had prepared for this, hadn't they? 15 years of secret research, development of quantum detection systems, and construction of underground facilities, all because they had detected the faintest whispers of something moving between the galaxies. Her quantum comlink chimed. "Dr. Hayes." General Sarah Mitchell's voice filled the chamber. "Status report." "Confirmed, General. The entity matches all our theoretical models. It's approximately the size of a small solar system, and it's definitely not a natural phenomenon. The movement patterns suggest intelligence." A pause on the line. "Initiate protocol blackout." Amanda's heart skipped a beat. They had drilled for this, but the reality of implementing a worldwide communication shutdown sent chills down her spine. "Understood, General. Initiating countdown." Screens around the chamber lit up with a synchronized timer. In facilities across the globe, similar countdowns began. Humanity had exactly 6 hours to implement a civilization-wide transformation. The next few hours passed in a blur of activity. Amanda coordinated with quantum communication hubs worldwide, ensuring the new darknet protocols were ready. Traditional electromagnetic communications would go dark, replaced by a network of quantum entangled transmitters that left no trace in normal space. At her station, Amanda watched as major cities began their sequential shutdown. New York dimmed first, its famous skyline fading to black as power systems switched to the new quantum grid. Tokyo followed, then London, Moscow, Beijing, a cascading wave of darkness sweeping across the globe. Through the quantum feeds, she monitored alien observation posts in high orbit. Their confusion was evident in their transmission patterns. One particular Galactic Council vessel broke protocol entirely, broadcasting direct queries about Earth's status. They received no response. In the final minutes before total blackout, Amanda sent her last traditional transmission, a seemingly random series of pulses that contained encrypted instructions for any human ships still in deep space. The message would bounce through the galaxy's natural radio noise for years, detectable only by those who knew exactly what to look for. "Final shutdown in 5 minutes," Marcus announced, his voice tight with tension. Amanda stood at her station, watching the last pieces of humanity's greatest gambit fall into place. On her screens, she could see the massive underground evacuation completing right on schedule. Billions of humans moving into prepared subsurface habitation zones, ready to live in engineered darkness. 2 minutes. She thought about the entity approaching their galaxy, ancient and hungry. How many civilizations had it consumed? How many species had it wiped out, detected by their own technological signatures? 1 minute. Humanity would be different. They would not burn bright and die. They would vanish, become ghosts, learn to fight in darkness. And when the entity arrived, expecting easy prey, initiating final shutdown. The last electromagnetic transmissions from Earth ceased. Satellite networks went dark. Power grids shifted to quantum distribution systems that left no signature in normal space. To any observer, Earth appeared to have suddenly died. But in the darkness beneath the surface, humanity was more alive than ever, preparing for a war unlike any the galaxy had seen. Dr. Amanda Hayes stood in the now dark command center, illuminated only by the quantum displays that cast a faint blue glow across her determined face. "And now," she whispered, "we hold our breath." Colonel Jack Morrison stood at the observation deck of the NSV Shadow Strike, watching Earth fade into darkness below. His ship, along with thousands of others, maintained perfect radio silence as they prepared for the largest coordinated deployment in human history. "Status report," he subvocalized, the quantum neural link transmitting his words to the bridge crew without a whisper of electromagnetic emission. "All systems nominal, Colonel." Lieutenant Rebecca Chen responded through the same silent channel. "Ghost drive operating at 98% efficiency. No detectable signature." The Shadow Strike represented humanity's greatest achievement in stealth technology. Its quantum ghost drive bent space-time, just enough to move without traditional propulsion, while its hull absorbed every form of radiation. To the rest of the universe, the ship might as well have been a shadow. "Director Brooks, Luna Base is ready for Phase 2, the quantum comlink whispered in his mind. Jack turned his attention to the moon, where Emily Brooks had transformed Earth's satellite into humanity's forward operating base. Through his ship's quantum sensors, he could see the massive underground hangars opening like silent mouths in the lunar surface. "Begin simultaneous launch," he ordered. Across Earth's dark surface, hidden launch facilities activated. Underground silos opened briefly, releasing ships that disappeared from normal vision almost instantly. The quantum network tracked them all. Over 3,000 vessels, each carrying pieces of humanity's master plan. On his tactical display, Jack watched alien observation posts struggling to track the massive exodus. Their sensors, relying on traditional electromagnetic and gravitational detection methods, caught only glimpses of the operation. "Colonel, we're detecting increased activity from the Galactic Council vessels," his tactical officer, Major David Rodriguez, reported. "They're adjusting their sensor arrays, trying new frequencies." Jack allowed himself a slight smile. Let them look. The Shadow Fleet had trained for this moment for years, perfecting the art of invisible movement through space. "Signal from Director Brooks," Lieutenant Chen announced. "Luna Base transformation is proceeding on schedule. First wave of quantum relay satellites is ready for deployment." The moon had become humanity's ace in the hole. While the surface remained unchanged to alien observers, beneath the regolith lay a sprawling complex of quantum computers and ghost drive manufacturing facilities. Emily's teams had hollowed out entire lunar mares, turning them into hidden shipyards and weapons factories. "Deploy the quantum net," Jack ordered. "Let's give our ships a proper dark road to travel." Hundreds of tiny satellites emerged from the lunar surface, each smaller than a basketball and completely invisible to conventional sensors. They would create a vast network of quantum-entangled communication points, allowing the Shadow Fleet to coordinate across the solar system without using traditional communications. A warning flashed on Jack's tactical display. "Council ship approaching Luna Base perimeter," Major Rodriguez reported. "They're launching probe drones." "Let them come," Jack replied calmly. "Maintain course and speed. Remember your training. We're nothing but cosmic background radiation to their sensors." The Shadow Strike glided past the alien vessel like a ghost, close enough for Jack to see the bewilderment of its crew through the quantum imaging system. The alien ship's sensors swept back and forth, searching for any sign of the massive human evacuation they must know was happening. "Colonel," Lieutenant Chen called out, "Director Brooks reports the first wave of deep space platforms is away. They're beginning construction of the outer system defense grid." Jack nodded, watching the tactical display as hundreds of green dots moved toward the outer solar system. Each platform carried the components for humanity's planned defensive network, a web of quantum-linked weapon systems that could engage targets without revealing their position. "How many council ships are now in system?" he asked. 17 vessels total, sir. They're establishing a quarantine perimeter around Earth. Perfect. Let them think humanity had suffered some catastrophic event. Let them believe Earth was dead or dying. The truth would remain hidden in the darkness they had created. "All ships report ready for Phase 3, Major Rodriguez announced. Jack took one last look at the darkened Earth below. Somewhere down there, in underground cities and bunkers, billions of people were adapting to their new existence. They would learn to thrive in darkness, to move without being seen, to fight without being detected. Initialize Ghost Drive sequence," he ordered. "Take us out to the rally point. It's time to show our people their new home among the stars." The Shadow Strike and its fleet of phantoms accelerated silently into the void, leaving behind a seemingly dead world that pulsed with hidden life and purpose. Captain Michael Reed watched through the quantum imaging display as the Galactic Council probe drifted closer to his corvette. The NSV Phantom Whisper. His ship hung motionless in space, its ghost drive at full stealth, making it as invisible as the vacuum around them. "Distance to target," he sub-vocalized through the neural link. 300 kilometers and closing. Lieutenant Sandra Martinez replied from her tactical station. "Their active scanning just passed through us again. No sign of detection." The probe was the most advanced piece of alien technology they'd encountered yet. A sleek, crystalline construct bristling with sensor arrays. It had been methodically sweeping the space around Earth's orbital planes for the past week, searching for any trace of human activity. "Time to show them what we've learned," Michael said. "Bring quantum ghost systems to full power. Prepare for intercept." The Phantom Whisper systems hummed silently as power redirected through its quantum matrices. Unlike traditional ships that needed to burn fuel for movement, the corvette manipulated spacetime itself, creating microscopic folds that let it slide through the void without a trace. "Council Mothership is holding position at 6 million kilometers," Sandra reported. "Still no sign they've detected us." Michael allowed himself a small smile. 3 months ago, they'd been a noisy, bright civilization, broadcasting their presence to the cosmos. Now, they were shadows, moving between the stars like spirits. "Execute intercept pattern Delta," he ordered. The Phantom Whisper moved with liquid grace, approaching the probe from its sensor blind spot. Years of studying Council technology had taught them the exact limitations of alien detection systems. Traditional sensors looked for energy emissions, gravitational disturbances, or matter displacement. The Ghost Drive created none of these. "In position," Sandra announced, "ready to deploy quantum disruptors." Michael leaned forward in his command chair. This would be their first real test against alien technology. "Deploy on my mark." Through the quantum imaging system, he could see the probe's internal systems, a complex network of crystalline computers and energy conduits. Their intelligence suggested it contained a quantum entanglement transmitter that could instantly alert the mothership if threatened. They'd have to be faster. "Mark." The Phantom Whisper released a cloud of quantum-entangled particles, invisible to normal space, but devastating to any system using quantum mechanics for computation. The cloud enveloped the probe like a silent storm. "Target's quantum systems are going dark," Sandra reported with quiet excitement. "No distress signal detected. We got it before it could transmit." "Bring it aboard," Michael ordered. "Quick and clean, just like we practiced." The Ghost Drive activated again, creating a pocket of warped space that swallowed both ship and probe. When space returned to normal, the probe had vanished, safely secured in the corvette's cargo hold. "Sir," his communications officer, Ensign John Parker, called out. "Incoming quantum burst from Earth Command. They're receiving reports from our deep space networks. 3 more Council science vessels have entered the system." Michael nodded. The Council was getting desperate for answers. Earth's silence had sparked a firestorm of speculation throughout the galactic community. Some believed humanity had destroyed itself. Others thought they'd fallen victim to some unknown catastrophe. None suspected the truth. Message from Dr. Hayes, John continued. Underground City 7 is now fully operational. Total population transfer in the Americas is 98% complete. Below Earth's surface, humanity was adapting to their new existence. Cities had been built in massive caverns, illuminated by artificial sunlight that left no trace on the surface. Quantum networks kept everyone connected without traditional communications. People were learning to live as ghosts. Captain, Sandra's voice carried a note of urgency. The Council mothership is moving. They're initiating a search pattern for their probe. Let them search, Michael replied calmly. Send word to Shadow Fleet Command. Tell them the quantum disruptors work exactly as designed. We can now neutralize Council technology without detection. He studied the tactical display, watching the alien ship's futile search pattern. Soon, they would have to report their failure to the Council. Another mystery to add to Earth's growing legend. Take us home, he ordered. We have what we came for. The phantom whisper slipped away into the darkness, leaving behind only questions and whispered rumors of humanity's invisible war. Dr. James Wheeler stood before the quantum holographic display in Underground City 3's research complex, his face illuminated by the swirling patterns of galactic data. 15 months of darkness had changed him, like it had changed all of humanity. His eyes, adapted to the dim lighting of their subterranean world, studied the patterns with practiced intensity. Run the simulation again, he instructed the quantum computer. Focus on the void patterns between the Andromeda and Triangulum galaxies. The display shifted, showing vast stretches of seemingly empty space. But James knew better. He'd spent months analyzing the quantum echoes left behind by the entity's passage through intergalactic space. Dr. Wheeler, a voice called from behind him. The Council's historical archives you requested have arrived. Laura Matthews, his research assistant, approached with a quantum tablet. The encrypted data had cost Earth's intelligence services dearly. 3 ghost ships and 6 months of careful negotiation with underground information brokers. Thank you, Laura. James took the tablet, his fingers dancing across its surface. Let's see what secrets the Council has been hiding about their lost colonies. The data flowed across his screen, reports spanning thousands of years detailing the mysterious disappearances of advanced civilizations. Each case followed a pattern so subtle that no one had connected them before. Computer, overlay the civilization's technological progression with their disappearance dates. A holographic display erupted with new data points. Hundreds of civilizations, each vanishing at almost exactly the same level of technological advancement. The pattern was undeniable. My God, Laura whispered. They were harvested. James nodded grimly. Not just harvested, hunted. Look at the energy signatures before each disappearance. Every civilization reached a point where their electromagnetic emissions achieved a specific frequency pattern. He manipulated the display, highlighting the common frequencies. They were being drawn out, like moths to a flame. The entity doesn't just consume civilizations. It cultivates them. The door to the research chamber hissed open, admitting General Sarah Mitchell and a team of Shadow Fleet officers. Their dark uniforms, designed to absorb even the faintest light, seemed to drink in the glow from the displays. Dr. Wheeler, the general's voice, was taut with tension. Your emergency signal said you found something critical about the entity. James gestured to the display. It's not just a predator, General. It's a farmer. He brought up a new simulation. It travels between galaxies, leaving behind quantum seeds of technology. Civilizations find these seeds, reverse engineer them, and follow a predetermined technological path. The simulation showed civilization after civilization discovering alien artifacts, advancing rapidly, then vanishing as the entity returned to their galaxy. The electromagnetic signatures they produce at their peak, James continued, act as a dinner bell. The entity returns when the civilization has reached its maximum technological density, consuming not just their technology, but the quantum potential of their entire species. General Mitchell's face hardened, and we were next on the menu. We were supposed to be, James corrected, but we discovered its quantum traces before we reached the critical emission threshold. Instead of following the technological path it laid out, we went dark. We chose a different evolution. Laura brought up another display, showing Earth's development timeline. We abandoned the traditional energy patterns. Our quantum technology operates on principles the entity never seeded into our galaxy. How many other civilizations has it consumed? One of the Shadow Fleet officers asked. James' expression was grim. Based on the Council's records, thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Some of the greatest civilizations in galactic history didn't collapse or migrate. They were eaten. General Mitchell studied the data with intense focus. Can we fight it? Better. James smiled for the first time. We can trap it. Every civilization it consumed followed the same technological path, used the same principles. But we're different. Our quantum ghost drives, our dark energy weapons, we're something it's never encountered before. He brought up a final simulation, showing Earth's transformed solar system. It's hunting for a bright electromagnetic civilization, sending signals into space. Instead, it's going to find a dark system full of quantum shadows, armed with weapons it can't detect or understand. How long until it reaches our galaxy? The general asked. 3 months. James replied. Just enough time to finish setting our trap and warn the other civilizations that haven't reached the threshold yet. They'll have a choice: hide with us in the dark, or burn bright and die. The general nodded slowly. Send everything you found to Shadow Fleet Command. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity chose to embrace the darkness. In the quantum display above them, the simulation showed the entity's massive form approaching the Milky Way, unaware that its next meal had evolved into something far more dangerous than prey. Admiral Rachel Winters stood on the bridge of the NSV Hidden Thunder, her flagship's quantum systems humming silently around her. The massive vessel, nearly 2 kilometers long, represented the peak of human engineering, a perfect fusion of stealth technology and military power. All quantum transmitters aligned. Commander Peter Nash reported from his communication station. We're ready to broadcast through the Council's network. Rachel took a deep breath, her hand resting on the tactical display. Around her ship, a fleet of ghost vessels maintained their invisible vigil. After 15 months of silence, humanity was about to show its hand. Security status, she asked. All channels secure, Lieutenant Catherine Sullivan responded. Our quantum encryption is holding. The Council won't be able to trace the source of the transmission. The Admiral nodded, her expression grave. Begin broadcast sequence. Let's wake up the galaxy. Commander Nash's fingers danced across his console. Broadcasting in 3, 2, 1. Across the galaxy, on thousands of worlds, communication systems suddenly activated. Every Council terminal, every alien broadcasting network, every quantum-capable receiver simultaneously displayed the same message. To all sentient species of the Milky Way, this is Admiral Rachel Winters of Earth's Shadow Fleet. We know what hunts you. Rachel continued, her voice carrying to civilizations that had wondered about Earth's fate for more than a year. 15 months ago, we detected an entity approaching our galaxy. We now know this entity has consumed thousands of civilizations, using seeded technology to guide their development until they were ripe for harvest. The tactical display showed the message spreading, reaching deeper into the galaxy with each passing second. On countless worlds, alien species gathered around their communication devices, listening to humanity's first transmission since going dark. We chose darkness not out of fear, but preparation. While you watched our world go silent, we transformed ourselves. We abandoned the technological path that would have made us easy prey. Instead, we developed something new, ways to fight that the entity has never encountered. Commander Nash signaled that the data package was ready. Rachel nodded, and he began the second phase of the transmission. Attached to this message, you'll find proof of everything we've discovered. The entity's hunting patterns, its quantum signature, and most importantly, our countermeasures. We've developed weapons that can harm it, ships that can fight it, and technology that can hide entire civilizations from its senses. The data streamed out across the Galactic network. Detailed schematics for quantum ghost drives, plans for underground city construction, specifications for dark energy weapons. Everything humanity had developed in their months of silence. You have a choice to make, Rachel continued. Some of you have already reached the technological threshold that will draw the entity's attention. Others are approaching it. You can choose to continue on your current path and face the entity alone, or you can join us in the darkness. Lieutenant Sullivan's console lit up. Admiral, we're receiving responses, thousands of them, from all over the galaxy. Rachel allowed herself a small smile. To those who choose to fight alongside us, we offer our technology and our guidance. Earth's Shadow Fleet will help you transform your civilizations, teach you to move unseen through space, show you how to turn your worlds into weapons the entity cannot detect. The response count on Sullivan's display continued to climb. Fear, hope, desperation, and determination poured in from across the galaxy as civilizations realized the truth about their cosmic predator. Operation Nightfall begins now, Rachel declared. We have less than 3 months before the entity reaches our galaxy. Every world that joins us will be protected. Every species that stands with humanity will learn to fight in the dark. Commander Nash looked up from his station. Admiral, the Galactic Council is requesting direct communication. They're offering immediate military support. Rachel's smile grew wider. The Council, with their vast fleets and advanced technology, had been the greatest obstacle to unity among species. Now, faced with extinction, even they were ready to follow humanity's lead. To the entity that thinks our galaxy will be its next meal, she concluded, her voice carrying across the stars. Know this. Humanity has spent 15 months preparing your grave. We are no longer prey to be harvested. We are the hunters now, and our darkness will be the last thing you ever see. The transmission ended, but its effect rippled through the galaxy like a shockwave. In the silence that followed, Admiral Winters watched as thousands of worlds began their own journey into shadow, joining humanity in their desperate gambit against the cosmic horror approaching their galaxy. Send word to Earth Command, she ordered. Tell them Phase 5 is complete. The galaxy is awakening, and they're choosing to fight. Major Tom Davidson watched the alien delegation's expressions shift from skepticism to awe as his special operations team demonstrated humanity's ghost drive technology. The massive training facility, buried beneath the Martian surface, housed some of Earth's most closely guarded secrets. The quantum displacement field generates no detectable emissions, he explained to the gathered representatives. Your ships rely on burning bright. Ours thrive in darkness. Ambassador Xenfar, a towering crystalline being from the Proxima colonies, raised what passed for a hand. Yet you can coordinate entire fleets without traditional communications. Tom gestured to Lieutenant Sarah Cooper, who activated the facility's main display. Quantum entanglement networks, she explained. Every ship carries linked particles, allowing instantaneous communication across any distance without electromagnetic signals. The chamber hummed as a ghost corvette materialized in the demonstration area. Its hull seemed to drink in light, creating a void in space that even the aliens' advanced sensors couldn't penetrate. Most impressive, rumbled Council Military Director Vexnor, his scaled hide reflecting the dim lighting. But can these vessels actually fight? Stealth means nothing if you cannot strike effectively. Tom smiled. Lieutenant Cooper, initiate weapons demonstration alpha. The chamber's far walls split open, revealing a testing range that stretched for kilometers through the Martian bedrock. Target drones, built using salvaged Council technology, activated and began evasive maneuvers. Traditional weapons rely on energy signatures, plasma, lasers, kinetic rounds, Tom explained. Our dark energy weapons operate on different principles entirely. The Corvette fired. There was no beam, no projectile, no visible effect at all. The target drone simply ceased to exist, crushed into subatomic particles by a localized gravitational singularity that vanished as quickly as it formed. By the first light, whispered Ambassador Xenthar, you've weaponized dark energy itself. We had to, Tom replied, his expression serious. Conventional weapons would give away our position. These leave no trace, no radiation signature, nothing for the entity to detect. The alien representatives huddled together, discussing in their native languages. Tom could see the change in their posture, the fear giving way to hope. His neural link chimed with an incoming message from command. Major, General Mitchell's voice echoed in his mind. Status report. The demonstration is proceeding as planned, General. The Allies are impressed. Good. Show them the Dark Forge next. They need to understand the full scope of what we're offering. Tom cleared his throat, gaining the alien's attention. If you'll follow me, there's something else you need to see. He led them through quantum-shielded corridors to a massive chamber that stretched upward for hundreds of meters. In the center, a device the size of a small starship pulsed with dark energy. The Dark Forge, Tom announced, capable of converting an entire fleet's worth of ships to ghost drive technology in under a week. We've built 7 of them across the solar system, and we're offering to construct more in allied systems. Director Vexnor stepped forward, his military training evident in his careful analysis of the machine. You're not just offering us weapons, you're offering to transform our civilizations. We have to, Lieutenant Cooper interjected. The entity doesn't just hunt ships or armies, it consumes entire species. The only way to survive is to change everything about how we live and fight. The chamber's quantum displays activated, showing the transformation of Earth's military over the past 15 months. Ghost ships under construction in lunar facilities, dark energy weapons being tested in the Kuiper Belt, entire fleets learning to move and fight without leaving a trace. Your species achieved this in just 15 months. Ambassador Xenthar asked, amazement clear in their crystalline resonance. Necessity breeds innovation, Tom replied. We'd be happy to have started earlier, but sometimes you don't choose your deadlines. A warning light flashed on his neural link display. Another quantum burst from the Deep Space Detection Network. The entity had crossed another light-year boundary. It was getting closer. We have less than 3 months, Tom continued, his voice firm. That's enough time to convert your primary defense fleets and establish basic stealth infrastructure. The question is, are you ready to embrace the darkness? Director Vexnor turned to face him, all 4 eyes glowing with determination. We fought among ourselves for millennia, believing we were the greatest powers in the galaxy. Now we face extinction, and it's humanity, the species we once considered primitive, that offers us salvation. The director extended his armored hand. Teach us your ways of shadow, Major Davidson. The Council fleets will fight alongside Earth. Tom grasped the alien's hand, sealing the alliance. In 2 months and 23 days, the entity would reach their galaxy, expecting to find easy prey. Instead, it would face the combined might of 1,000 species, all trained in humanity's art of darkness. Commander Jessica Martinez watched through the quantum imaging display as the combined fleet materialized from darkness. 300 ships, representing 20 different species, emerged from their ghost drives in perfect synchronization. Not bad for their first coordinated jump, she commented to her executive officer, Commander Ryan Chen. They're learning. 4 weeks of training does wonders, Ryan replied, studying the tactical readouts, especially when extinction is the alternative. The NSV Shadowdancer, Jessica's command vessel, hung invisible at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. Around them, the solar system had become an intricate web of traps and defensive positions. General Robert Kane's gravity pulse cannons were hidden throughout the asteroid belt, while quantum mines drifted in precisely calculated orbits. Begin Combat Drill 7. Jessica ordered through the fleet-wide quantum network. Scenario: Entity breach of outer system defenses. The alien ships responded immediately, breaking into predetermined battle groups. The crystalline vessels of the Proxima fleet took up their positions near Neptune, their modified hulls now as dark as humanity's ghost ships. The massive dreadnoughts of the Council's main battle group, once bright beacons of power, slipped between orbital planes like shadows. Commander, her sensor officer, Lieutenant Mark Williams, called out. Deep Space Array is picking up something. The entity just crossed the Oort cloud threshold. Jessica's expression hardened. Show me. The tactical display shifted, revealing the massive form of their enemy. It stretched across space like a dark nebula, its true size defying conventional measurement. Within its body, the quantum sensors detected the energy signatures of thousands of consumed civilizations. Send the data to General Kane, she ordered. His gravity cannons will need updating with the entity's exact quantum frequency. Her neural link chimed with an incoming transmission from Luna Base. Director Brooks' voice filled her mind. Commander Martinez, how are our allies performing? Better than expected, Jessica replied, watching the alien ships execute another perfect reformation. The Council forces adapted quickly to ghost drive navigation, and the Proxima fleet's crystal tech integrates well with our quantum systems. Good, because we just lost another observation post. The entity's approaching faster than predicted. New arrival estimate is 4 days. Jessica felt her heart skip a beat, but her voice remained steady. Understood. We'll accelerate the training schedule. The allies are ready. They just need to fine-tune their coordination. The quantum display lit up as General Kane's weapons platforms began their automated defense drills. Invisible beams of gravitational force sliced through space, powerful enough to tear apart small moons. All ships, execute attack pattern Delta, Jessica commanded. Remember, no traditional weapons, nothing that leaves an energy signature. Ghost drives and dark energy weapons only. She watched with pride as the fleet responded. Ships vanished and reappeared in complex patterns, their movements guided by quantum entanglement rather than computer networks. When they fired, their weapons left no traces, no radiation, nothing for the entity to detect. Message from the Proxima flagship. Lieutenant Williams announced. They're reporting successful integration of their crystal weapons with our quantum targeting systems. The crystalline ships demonstrated their new capabilities, firing weapons that bent light around them. Their natural technology, combined with humanity's stealth systems, created weapons that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Commander, Ryan's voice carried a note of urgency. New data from the Deep Space Array. The entity. It's changing course. It's heading directly for the inner system. Jessica studied the updated tactical display. The massive creature's course correction meant one thing. It had sensed something. But what? Their stealth systems were perfect, their emissions non-existent. Send word to all ships, she ordered. Training exercise is over. This is now a combat deployment. All vessels maintain Ghost Protocol and await further orders. Through the quantum network, she could sense the tension spreading through the fleet. Everyone had known this moment would come, but the reality of facing such an ancient and powerful enemy still inspired awe and fear. Status report from General Kane's position on Mars. Lieutenant Williams called out. The planetary defense grid is fully operational. All gravity pulse cannons are charged and synchronized with the quantum network. Jessica took a deep breath, feeling the weight of countless lives resting on their preparations. Send word to Earth Command. Tell them the combined fleet is ready for combat operations. And contact Admiral Winters. She needs to know the entity will be here in 4 days, not 7. As she watched her display, the massive form of their enemy continued its inexorable approach. Somewhere within that cosmic darkness, the consumed remnants of ancient civilizations served as a grim reminder of failure's cost. Let's show this thing why we chose to become shadows, she whispered as her fleet of ghosts prepared for war. Admiral Rachel Winters stood at the command center of the NSV Hidden Thunder, watching as the entity entered the solar system. The massive creature's form blocked out the stars themselves, its body rippling with the absorbed energy of countless civilizations. All ships maintain Ghost Protocol, she ordered through the quantum network. Let it come to us. The combined fleet hung invisible in the void, hundreds of vessels linked through quantum entanglement. They were shadows among shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Admiral, Commander Nash's voice was tense. The entity is scanning the system. It's looking for the electromagnetic signatures we were supposed to have by now. Rachel allowed herself a small smile. Confused, aren't you? She whispered to their massive enemy. Can't find what you're looking for. The entity's movements became more erratic. It probed deeper into the solar system, its sensory appendages stretching out like cosmic tendrils. It passed through the Kuiper Belt, searching for the civilization that should have been ripe for harvest. General Kane reports the gravity pulse cannons are locked on target, Lieutenant Sullivan announced. The Martian defense grid is ready. Signal from Commander Martinez, Nash added. The combined fleet is in position. Council forces and Proxima ships confirming ready status. Rachel touched the neural link connecting her to every ship in the fleet. This is Admiral Winters to all vessels. Remember your training. Remember why we chose darkness. Execute Operation Nightfall on my mark. The entity reached Jupiter's orbit, its massive form distorting space itself. It seemed almost desperate now, searching for the energy signatures that should have been broadcasting Earth's location. Now we show it why humanity went dark, Rachel declared. All ships, execute primary attack pattern. General Kane, you may fire when ready. The solar system erupted in silent warfare. Gravity pulse cannons fired from Mars, invisible beams of concentrated gravitational force tearing into the entity's form. The creature recoiled, experiencing pain perhaps for the first time in its ancient existence. Combined fleet, engage. Rachel ordered. Ghost ships materialized from nowhere, their dark energy weapons striking with surgical precision. Council dreadnoughts emerged from shadow, their modified weapon systems targeting the quantum frequencies Dr. Wheeler had identified as crucial to the entity's existence. The creature lashed out, but its attacks found nothing. Every ship vanished before its strikes could land, reappearing elsewhere to deliver another blow. The Proxima vessel's crystal tech weapons phased between quantum states, bypassing the entity's defenses entirely. Direct hit on primary mass, Sullivan reported. The entity is losing coherence in sectors 7 through 12. Rachel watched through the quantum imaging system as their enemy thrashed in space, trying to fight an enemy it couldn't see or understand. For the first time in its existence, the hunter had become prey. Signal from Earth Command, Nash announced. Dr. Hayes reports the quantum disruption field is at full power. The entity can't escape through its normal means. Admiral, Sullivan's voice carried a note of triumph. The entity's core structure is destabilizing. General Kane's gravity weapons have created a cascading quantum failure. Rachel opened the quantum link to all ships and installations. All forces, execute final attack pattern. Let's finish this. The combined fleet struck as one, their ghost drives allowing them to appear simultaneously around the entity's weakened form. Dark energy weapons fired in perfect synchronization, their gravitational effects amplified by the Martian defense grid. Space itself seemed to shudder as the entity began to break apart. Within its dying form, the energy of consumed civilizations sparked and flared, finally breaking free from their ancient prison. Dr. Hayes reports quantum readings are stabilizing, Nash reported. The entity, it's gone, Admiral. Complete quantum dissolution. Rachel released a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Send word to Earth Command. Tell them to start bringing the lights back online. Across Earth's surface, cities began to illuminate one by one. Humanity emerged from their underground shelters, looking up at stars they hadn't seen in nearly 2 years. Message from the Council flagship, Sullivan announced. Director Vexnor sends his congratulations. The Council is formally recognizing Earth's leadership in defense of the galaxy. Rachel smiled as she watched Earth's lights return. Send a response to all our allies. Tell them it's time to bring their worlds back to light as well. The hunter is dead, and the galaxy is safe. She turned to her crew, pride evident in her expression. Humanity went dark to survive. We learned to thrive in shadow, to fight without being seen. Now we've taught those lessons to the galaxy itself. The Hidden Thunder's quantum displays showed celebrations beginning on worlds across the galaxy as civilizations returned to the light. Humanity had transformed from prey to protector, their mastery of darkness becoming the galaxy's salvation. Take us home, Rachel ordered. It's time to see the sunrise again.